Ketter at the Cabin presents BOC with Ketter. Fly fishing, stories, connection. Now pour yourself a drink. All right, friends, welcome back into another season or another episode of BOC with Ketter. We are in season 2. I am your host, Ketter, and I do have another fun guest with me today. I will kick it over so he can introduce himself.
Hi, this is Carl Haensel. I wear a number of hats in the world of fly fishing, so lots of different fun things to talk about. I live up on the North Shore between North Shore to Lake Superior, between Duluth and Two Harbors, Minnesota. Do a lot of guiding on the Minnesota and Wisconsin side, known guide service up here. And along with my wife, Jade Thomason, put together the Great Waters Fly Fishing Expo on behalf of Minnesota Trout Unlimited. So a lot of different things there, and we travel about the world, shooting photos, writing stories, and doing a wide variety of things in the fly fishing world, and working with environmental education as well.
Wow. Yeah, that is incredible. I didn't know that it was that big of a list of awesome things. That's sweet. That is awesome. I didn't know you lived up on the North Shore either. It's a beautiful
Indeed,
place.
yes.
Yeah, I spent 6 years living in Duluth, and oh man, there's nothing really better. I mean, there's a lot of cool places, but Duluth North Shore is one of my favorite places.
Yeah, we feel very fortunate here. We live not too far from the Sucker River,
Mhm.
between Duluth and Two Harbors, and we're based up here, and we've got our ourselves and then a suite of guides that work for us that guide both Minnesota and Wisconsin. So we cover anywhere from north of Grand Marais to over close to Ashland, and both warm water and cold water fly fishing things based upon what's going on and what's in season.
Yeah.
So that's that type of thing has been a big component of what has led over the years to a lot of different writing and a lot of different projects. This somehow I've got to this year. I'm starting off my 31st year of guiding people fly fishing. So I've been rolling along, doing it for a while. Like that led a few years back to the that Fly Fishing Minnesota book project, which
Mhm.
you've probably seen, that comprehensive statewide book, and that has allowed us to go to a lot of different places and poke around a lot of different fun things.
Dang, that's incredible. I'm gonna have to have you on a couple more times to talk about all that other stuff. I didn't know it was that extensive. That's unbelievable. That is so cool. Oh, I did forget to ask you too. Are you sipping on any fun beverages here tonight? Looks
Oh,
like you got a
I've been
nice
doing a
water.
lot of phone calls today, so I'm on straight water this evening. So
Hey, that's smart. I went over to the pomegranate tea with some honey. Nice little cool night. It's perfect.
that would probably be better. So it's
Yeah, it's
we're
pretty
um,
tasty.
we're getting into the thick right now. We're starting off our maple syrup tapping season.
Same.
Uh,
Yeah.
we're tapping trees right now. Stuff's just about to, like we're not quite as far along as further south in Minnesota, but
Mhm.
it's just right on the cusp of going well here.
Dude, yes, that's awesome. I got into that last year and yeah, we've already boiled down a little bit. We got a little bit of syrup already and it's today was a good day. We got a lot.
And yeah, it's running.
That's awesome. Awesome. So we're going to kind of focus our conversation around the Great Waters Fly Fishing Expo, as you know. So for those who don't know or not familiar, what is the Great Waters Fly Fishing Expo?
Oh, great question. So, the Great Waters Fly Fishing Expo is the largest fly fishing gathering in the Midwest. It brings together a huge amount of people in the industry that are then accessible to the public. So, we have guides, we have experts, we have fly shops, we have brands, we have tires, all sorts of people that are coming from all over. We have people generally each year that come from anywhere from Alaska to Argentina that are coming to be able to present on all sorts of topics of fly fishing, and then just tons of opportunities to test, try out, and purchase gear. We run it functionally as a conference track. So it's 3 days. This year it's March 13, 14, 15. It starts at 1 p.m., goes 1 to 7 Friday, 9 to 6 on Saturday, 10 to 4 on Sunday. And we have so many programs
Yeah.
that give people, if you're excited about warm water, if you're excited about travel, if you're excited about salt water, depending on all sorts of different things that you might want to do, whether that's really diving into fishing in the driftless and regionally in Minnesota for trout, or if you are excited about smallmouth bass, or whether you're a destination angler, we got everything there. The expo is owned by Minnesota Trout Unlimited, and it serves to benefit the broader conservation community. We really view it as a big tent opportunity to get people involved. And so it has just a lot of great conservation messaging in addition to uh, all of the learning that people can do. So,
Oh,
tons of great stuff that we have going on this season with it. It's been going on for a long time. It was originally founded by Tom Helgeson many years ago. So my wife and Jade and I took over the management and operation of it in 2016. So we've been doing
okay.
it a while.
Nice, nice. When did it, originally get started? Do you, like, have that information going that far back, or is it kinda
We do,
in
but
the weeds?
that's a good question. Off the top of my head, I'd have to go back and look as to remember exactly which year it started. So I've been involved with it personally going back to about 2007.
Very good. Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Do you think, like, the original vision is exactly, like, what it is today, or do you think it's kinda transformed over time?
Tom Helgeson, who founded it, was a good personal friend of mine before he passed away, and we've really tried to stay true to that mission of it being a community event that focuses on providing stuff for everybody, and that allows a method and a venue for everybody, whether they're large or small, to be able to get in and connect. There's a lot of people who've been doing it for many years who look at this as this is their large extended family. And it's just a lot of fun for people. And we try to let that spirit of community drive it.
Mhm. Absolutely. I think that's exactly it. I'll share a little bit. So I went last year for the first time. I never even really knew about it. And it came across on social media and I was like, okay, this looks really cool. I don't live far from here. And oh man, dude, I showed up on Friday and I bought the weekend pass and it was one of the coolest experience. I literally just soaked everything in, just sponge. I just went there all by myself, and I was like told my wife, like, "Don't expect me to be around all weekend, like, I'm just gonna go to every possible thing I can do." And, oh, man, I learned so much and met a lot of cool people and just walking around and just talking to people, it's like, this is everything when you think about, like, a community and what it means to people, and it is very cool.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it and felt that way. So that's great. That's what we try to have people come away with, feeling that sense of engagement.
Mhm.
It's a lot of fun.
It is, and, like
It's the big
and
thing is
honestly, like oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, the big thing is you just want people to have a good time, and that's really at the core of it is to
Mhm.
feel that connection.
Yeah, I think that's important too, and, like, honestly, every single person I personally met there, all very nice, all very welcoming, everyone's very kind, regardless, your skill level, anything like that. None of that, like, really seemed to, like, matter, and that's very cool. Because I think some people can, when they think of, like, expos, like, outdoor space, they can get, like, a little intimidated, like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm in that bracket or whatever," but everyone was so friendly and kind, and I think that's also very, very important.
Yeah, we work really strongly on that, and that's super fun. We have a ton
Yeah.
of beginner content
Yeah.
that's available. We have new learn to fly fish programs every day. We've got some women's specific stuff on Friday. And we also have a social that's a after expo social that's this year's going to be occurring on Friday. That's led by Fly Fishing Women of Minnesota, along with Minnesota Trout Unlimited. So that's super cool to be able to just provide a lot of good welcoming spaces for everybody regardless of where they're coming from in the world. And we have the federation, we have fly fishers of we have FFI,
There you
Fly
go.
National, and they are going to be there, and they have been a long running extremely important partner of the expo, and they offer free flag. Like once you pay to get in, they offer free fly casting lessons there that are ongoing and really try to provide access to learning for you. You could have never fly cast a fly rod before. You can show up and you're gonna get a lesson. And they actually teach more lessons there at our show than nearly every single other event that they do nationwide.
That is super cool. Yeah, that's very, very cool information. So you took over, like you kinda said, in 2007. Did you when you kinda took
What,
over that role
2016?
or yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
2016. When you, kinda jumped into that role, did you, like, know, like, "Okay, this is something special," or did it kinda click over years of you kinda being more involved, or did you kinda know you were getting into something special?
Yeah, I started getting involved back in around, 2007,
Mhm.
2008 from a sort of a larger scope. When we, this is something that in my involvement with it, it's always been something important. The Helgeson family, when we took it over from them in 2016, definitely we really wanted to do something that would, sort of capture Tom Helgeson's ethos of operating it. I still think about that regularly today. So just because it's got a lot of special components to it. We in providing the access, one of the things that we do is we do a fly tires area that allows fly tires to be in there, be tying, be talking to people, be demonstrating, and that's free for those fly tires to do. We actually don't charge them for that at all, and that provides a good access methodology to get a huge amount of demonstration and community sharing in front of people at a way that works for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I went through that, last year. I went through the little fly tying area, and I sat down. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but I, talked to him about kinda my experience with that, and I looked at him, I said, "Look, I struggle with the whip finish, and it's to the point where I don't even wanna tie flies," and, he showed me how he kinda does it and everything, and I was like, "Oh, thank you. This is definitely something I'm taking home to try to do," so that was really cool.
Yeah, a lot of good learning opportunities.
Yeah, endless. Yeah, I could spend a month in there. Like, it's yeah, nonstop learning. Oh, that's so cool. So you've kinda touched base on this, but how important is it for, a specific region to have something like this? Especially, I'm a driftless based fisherman. I spend most of my time in the driftless. Do you think it's very important to have something like this for a region?
Yeah, absolutely. There are fly fishing shows, so that take place around the country, and some of they've grown and shrank and moved and changed over time, But I think having that type of collective experience and bringing people together it helps people learn. It helps the conservation community connect and it helps get cool stuff in front of people that is otherwise hard to do. Like if you are a new rod company or a new reel company or a new wader company, or like we've got so many cool new things coming in this year, and if you want to get those in front of people, it's hard to do that. Like social media is great, internet shopping's great, but I'm a big believer in doing in face, in person, in your face, actually touching the product, seeing what it is, trying it out, and that's a huge component of the expo. Like there's things that you can try at a shop, but if you're a brand new rod company, it's just great to be able to get stuff in front of people. So we've got some neat new companies this year. Everything from there's a new fly tying app that's going to be there. Super neat about fly tying. We've got some different newer gear companies, technical pieces, all that type of stuff. We've got certainly. I think we've got over 20 new exhibitors that are going to be coming this year.
Wow, okay. That's awesome. Is that pretty typical, growth spike? Is it like 20, you try to get that every year? Does it just kinda depend on the year and kinda what's going on?
We've been comfortably growing each year
Mhm.
since the expo, and every year there's going to be depending upon people's travel schedule and where they are and what's going on and other conflicts. We have some people that try to make it every year as an exhibitor. Some people are going to be there on and off. Some people are it's hardcore. It's the key central thing of one of their business models. And some people they're like, yeah, we're going to make it when we can. So we have changeover with everybody year to year to some extent, and that's really healthy for what we see, uh, and that's what people love to experience. They want to see what's new, what's different, all that kind of thing. So some people, come to get they want their they want to get their embroidered trout pillow from Bob and Val Wagner from Riverwood Design, and they've been
Yeah.
buying a trout pillow every year for like for 15 years, and they want to get that. And some people are like, oh, I want to see what's the latest greatest, you know
Mhm.
different rod from different thing or that type of stuff. Some people come to see the guides that are going to be there because they're like, oh, maybe I heard about this guide or I saw them on social media, I want to meet them in person. What's their vibe? How does that, are they someone that is going to make sense for me to go out with? They can talk to them in person. Certainly, a lot of the different guides that we have doing programming so they can both learn from them, get techniques, and then see like, oh, maybe that's someone that I want to be able to go out with. Whether that's someone local, that we might have. We have people from near driftless, far driftless, a lot of smallmouth guides on the
Yeah.
Mississippi, that type of thing. So we have folks like, Kyle Zempel from Black Earth Angling. We're excited to have him back this year. Really knowledgeable guy. He's going to be talking about a variety of things, both on the warm water and cold water end of things. So there's that. And then you can be like, oh, do I really like this guy? He's super cool. So, and you can
Exactly.
get that read to be able to go out.
Dude, that's a great call. The kinda going back, like, a couple minutes ago when you were saying, like, buying something, like, physically getting your hands on it, talking to people, like, I agree, that human aspect is always super important, and if you can see who you're buying something from or potentially getting a guide, like, just having that one-on-one time with them, that is a huge, huge bonus in our world is just to have that connection, so I never even thought about it like that with people coming to meet guides, they probably are coming to see what their vibes like or how they kinda interact with people, so I never even thought of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got all sorts of, like this year we're sort of excited. Um, we've got the places from far afield that we've got coming, and then we've got a couple new fly shops as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
we've got Money Creek Outfitters.
mhm,
They're a newer fly shop. They're from down in Houston, Minnesota, down in the far corner of Minnesota in the Driftless.
mhm,
So that's a really cool thing that we can introduce them to introduce everybody to a new fly shop. That's super exciting. And we've also got red cedar fly fishing from over
yeah,
in Menominee.
yep,
So they're newer as well. So super excited about that from that perspective. So we can get them going too and promote what they've got going on as brand new fly shops.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, Josh and the team at Money Creek, they're solid, solid dudes, I had them on, a while ago, and yeah, I'll
Well,
be
that's
I'll be
great.
there with them, yeah, so that'll be where I'll be all weekend hanging out there, so yeah, it's gonna be a good time. That's awesome. So this is a question that I think about a lot and definitely want to hear your take on this. Has there been a growth in like certain species over the years at the expo, whether that's like, people leaning more into the smallmouth trout, like has that kind of stayed consistent or has there been a spike?
Um, we've had consistent and steady growth in smallmouth fishing
Yeah.
as a fly fishing topic, certainly for 20 years. So it's been growing, growing steadily. So if I go back at the beginning of my personal guiding career, I was based out of the Twin Cities when I started
Mhm.
guiding in the mid 90s. And, like I could go to what we now think of some of the classic locations at the Mississippi River around Monticello, where, like that's not a secret at this point in time. And, like I would be the only boat on the water. There'd be nobody else out
Wow.
there at all. And we've just seen slow incremental growth over time. Now, with all things fly fishing, we saw a big spike of involvement in all things, all species during the pandemic.
No.
Uh,
Yep.
but we've certainly seen over time warm water fly fishing take a bigger chunk of what we have going on. And we're starting to see a greater diversity of warm water fishing in the Midwest take a greater level. So musky fishing, if I go back looking 20, 30 years ago,
Yeah.
yeah, people were fly fishing for muskies, but it didn't have the level of involvement or engagement that it has now. Like we actually we have a late program edition that we've added in recently here. We're going to have uh, guide and PhD entomologist Caleb Corona is going to be doing a native rough fish program on Saturday morning. Super stoked about that. Really excited. That's been something that's, fishing for those rough fish. There's been a huge push in appropriate conservation of them in Minnesota. Finally, we have well, I should say we have a start of better regs in
Sure.
Minnesota. We're not where I think we should be in terms of caring for and appropriately conserving especially some of our longer lived, native warm water fish species like that, like buffalo, where you can see those fish living over 100 years. Uh, like we're not there yet. You can still go out and shoot them.
Right.
So, give us time, but we're
Sure.
better. We're moving in the right direction, and we're gonna be telling that story, and that's, like, if you, asked people, even, 10, 15 years ago, that wasn't as big a thing. We generally have, more warm water. We're seeing, sort of continued engagement, and growth, both in the saltwater fly fishing and broadly in the travel sector of people doing more warm water travel fly fishing and broadly just more travel to a lot of destinations as well. Well, peacock bass fishing has been around for a long time. For example, Dorado fishing in South America has seen a huge growth in the last decade.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that was one of the questions I was really excited to hear about because I just feel like there's kind of always things kind of coming in, and yeah, I just always curious to see because like when I go to like an expo or something, like I'm pretty much there focused on trout and everything, but then it's like if you think about it, there's so much more going on. You just kind of got to take a step back and like, oh, maybe today I want to go learn about carp on the fly rod. Well, this is a great place to do it. So it's good to kind of have that open mind as an angler too when you go to something like this.
Yeah, and we try to have, like a good track where if you are really excited, like say you're a bass angler, we're gonna have a series of we're trying not to put, for example, most of our bass programs aren't opposed to each other at the
Mhm.
same time. So you can go from bass program to bass program, and similar, like you can go from a driftless trout program to, like we're not going to overlap them. So you can go and see, if you're really excited about driftless trout, you can check that out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Are
we're
you
super
seeing,
stoked about that.
yeah, that'll be fun. Are you seeing more younger generation, younger anglers showing up over the years?
Yeah, absolutely, and we've really
Right.
been targeting our marketing that way as well. With social media, we put a lot more of our ad revenue out on Instagram and that type of thing, just trying to drive that broader awareness. So we wanna, like, we wanna get those younger folks, and that's, get as diverse an audience as we possibly can get.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I feel like, yeah, just, working with the next generation is obviously very important for anything like this. Gotta keep it moving. Awesome. So for someone who's brand new to fly fishing, if they were coming to that expo, what would you tell them to kind of prioritize or kind of focus on when they walk through those doors?
That's a really good question. If they are brand new to fly fishing, I would tell
Mhm.
them to make sure that they attend one of the intro programs. So there's introduction to programs, every day that they can attend. And there's a youth program specifically on Saturday. So if there's kids that are coming, they want to go to that. And then after that, they should go take a casting lesson.
Yeah.
Uh, so, uh, from those things, then they can go around the expo and sort of have an idea and a framework of what they can check out and how, like, if they want to put together an introductory kit, if they want to get some waders and boots and a rod and a reel, there's plenty of vendors there that can set them up entirely so they can walk out the door and be entirely ready to fish. And hopefully, via our programming, get a sense of it, of how to go about doing that in a way that they're comfortable not necessarily spending $1,000,000. And that's a key thing, is we try to make it realistic and accessible for everybody. So those 2 key programming aspects are great. For kids specifically, we have a youth passport program. So if you go to the kids program, then you get a passport and you have to go around the show, and you need to visit a greater diversity of there. So you have to go tie a fly, you have to, you have to go cast, you have to do these things. You got to visit the Department of Natural Resources. You got to like go to the Trout Unlimited booth. You got to see some aspects of what we have there. And then if you complete those things, you're put in for a drawing to get a free fly rod, some other good gear, that kind of thing. And
Nice.
it's pretty good odds. Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah, I mean, like, there's not a huge amount of people that complete that full passport. Someone who's stoked about it is gonna go away, and usually they have multiple fly rods for that too. Like, there's gonna be multiple kids that are gonna go away with a full kit and be able to walk away with that, which is super cool.
Oh, yeah, I bet they're absolutely fired up. That is very cool. I will
Yeah.
say, I don't know if this is like a pro tip, but kinda back to your point too, when I know I'm going to the expo, I personally, like, get together just on my phone, just in my notepad app, I'll put a list of, like, the things I need, like, I'm going here, I'm gonna buy, you know, certain flies, maybe I need some tippet, the certain things I need, and then I put down on a list, like, the places and the speakers I wanna go see, and I kinda keep it all in a list, and that, A, keeps me, like, organized and on track of what I wanna do, and B, it keeps me within a budget, so it's like, "Okay, I'm going to the expo, and I'm gonna spend blank amount of money, and after that, I need to leave or go put my wallet in the car," one of those things, so that's definitely something that I do.
That can be useful. We've got schedules online on our website that people can check out, and the schedules are very close to, we always have a few last minute changes based upon whatever happens in the world with folks. We've got them there. The schedules came out in our Trout Unlimited newsletter. Like, if you receive that, if you're a Trout Unlimited member, there'll be schedules in there. And you can pick up a paper schedule the day of when you get there, and you can circle what you want.
Yes.
If you go like you did last year, if you go all 3 days, you get a bit of a discount by getting the 3-day ticket price. And you can do that, which is super nice. And just be able to be there the whole time. We have food trucks that are there so
Yeah.
that, folks that can go back. So we're back this year. We have the brick oven pizza bus is back for more pizza. And then super stoked that we've got a taco truck this year. So we've got a taco truck from South Minneapolis that's coming in, and we're really excited to have them.
Oh, yes, I will be checking that out.
Yeah,
That is
it
for
should be
sure.
good. So that's what we try to have everything going. You might have got to see, we use the collegiate swimming pool there to do some on-water programming with that. So people teaching spay casting, roll casting. And then with our casting areas, Exhibitors also have the opportunity, say you show up and you want to try out whichever rod that we, is there. For example, we've got a new manufacturer called Maxon this year,
Mhm.
and Maxon's going to be there, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'd really like to cast that." And so you can be, like, you can shake it, but just shaking the rod doesn't necessarily give you as much as you want. So we have three different casting areas that you could go to where you could try. You could try in our classic casting area. You could try in our arena casting area, or even up on the pool if you wanted to roll cast and do that type of thing, or practice spay casting.
That is awesome. Yeah, having the pool in there is a major bonus.
Yeah, it's super fun.
That's awesome. So a couple of logistic questions for you. When does like planning the expo? Is it like as soon as it's over that next year, you're already rolling and starting to plan for the next one, or what does that kind of
We're
look
we're,
like in your world?
we're planning now for 2027. So
Yeah.
we're already talking, like a lot of stuff. Honestly, the best time to plan for the expo for the next year is to talk with people that have ideas and then plan with them at this year's expo so that we can see sort of the live setup. We can see how something's working. So someone might come to me and say, "Hey, I've got this idea for a booth. I want to try this." And I'll be like, "Okay, let's meet at the expo. You can show me what you're thinking about, and we can talk about would that work for next year." That's what we're working on in terms of planning for exhibitors and presenters and speakers and that type of thing. And like I will have someone will speak and they'll be like, "Hey, this went super well. Like I want to do more of that." Or someone will be like, "Hey, I had so many people ask me about this topic. Like I want to talk about that." Because I had so many people come to my booth and do that. And so it's a continual ongoing process just to keep that, keep it going and try to keep it fresh and new things. I have plans I can't tell you yet for 2027 because 2026 hasn't happened yet.
You dang right it hasn't. That's awesome, man. I love that. That's very cool. I figured you're probably always just thinking and working for the next one. I can only imagine.
And sometimes we have to look quite a ways off in advance for different speakers and presenters, dependent upon what's going on too.
Yeah, yeah, you bring up a good point and kinda segues good into my next question. What would you say the most challenging part about pulling off an expo is like this?
That's a good question. Uh, there's parts that we've gotten better at over time. Um, you know, Trying to make it as fair and equitable for all of our exhibitors so that everybody feels like they have a good shot at doing exactly what they want to do. We work really hard on that. And we, do our absolute best. Uh, you know, we try to have a really good diversity of programming. I think that's something that we work really hard at, so that we've got a lot of different things going on there. So there's logistic challenges, with everything. But that's just like any event that's going to bring in thousands of people.
Yeah.
You're going to have those.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta yeah, there's a whole list of things that have lodging and everything. It's a lot.
But,
That's
like, our goal is that, like, everybody feels like they had a good experience. Not just the general public who shows up, but we want the exhibitors to be really excited that they had a good time and that it worked for them and it made sense for them to be there. Like, like, there's a lot of different audiences that we have in running this type of show. We have internal audiences within Trout Unlimited. We have our exhibitors. We have the college itself. That like we're really fortunate to have Hamlin University as a strong partner. They're a great educational institution, and they've really, really worked hard with us to make this work for us, for conservation, for the public, for the exhibitors. And there's a lot of behind the scenes things that people don't necessarily see of all those little like things that aren't interesting, honestly. But they all have to come together at the right time so that it works for everyone.
yeah, no, that's a good call about Hamlin. When I was sitting down in the gym, I was just like, I was looking around, I was like, "This is a really cool gym." Like, you take a step in there and you feel like you take a couple years back in time and, like, the banners and everything. I was like, "Oh, this is" I've never been into Hamlin. I was like, "This is really cool."
Yeah, so that's the where we do our largest speaking venue is in the Hutton Arena at Hamlin. That's their basketball stadium, and there we use like half the bleachers that we set up in a massive screen so people can see stuff really well, and we can seat hundreds and hundreds of people there. So it has a huge capacity, and that's awesome. But it's, as you said, you really step back in time because that's the original home for collegiate basketball. Collegiate basketball started there at Hamlin University. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
so it's
it
pretty
did.
wild.
Yeah, that is incredible, yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're sports and sports. We're doing fly fishing. We're not doing basketball, but it's still cool.
That is very cool. Ooh, I do got a question for you, and, maybe you can't answer it, but last year, Grundon's did, like, a little, hat happy hour. Is that coming back through?
That is a great question. I've not heard a report
Okay.
yet, from them. It was pretty epic, with the crazy amount of hats that they gave away this last year. So I don't know what's going down with them yet. They're gonna have a large booth again, this year and a big presence. But as to what their plans are, I've not heard yet.
Awesome, very good. Yeah, that was very cool. Spent a lot of time at the Grennan's booth and ended up getting some waiters, so, I was like, "Alright, these waiters are
Yeah,
very nice."
they've made a big investment into fly fishing, and they're doing more this year and looking to be strongly involved.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Cool. Couple more questions for you, Carl. So, as someone who spends a lot of time putting this together and working through it, when those doors open on that first day, what does that feel like to you?
Well, uh, I am as long as everything's running smoothly, I'm very grateful. It's when the doors open, that's the real test of all of our, like all of our equipment, all of our stuff, all everything has got to be working. Like all of our projectors and our point of sale and our things and our little all those little bits that because you're essentially running. It's like running a store that only happens for 3 days a year, and you don't have a chance to do as much testing as you would like before it happens. So there's always gonna be things. So I would say when the doors open, I'm a little nervous. After about an hour going in, then I'm feeling good.
Good, good. That anxiety kinda drops a little bit and you're like, "All right, here we go. We
Yeah,
got a
with,
full
like
weekend."
any issues, we have a lot of redundancy, that we have baked into it to make sure that things work over time, and a lot of things that, like we've had crazy things happen,
Oh, I bet.
and, really, funny things happened that, you're like, you just don't know. One of my favorite stories was, there was an exhibitor who, he called me up, many, many months before the show. He said, "Carl, could I bring a popcorn maker? Because I want to give out free popcorn." I said, "Great. Yeah, that's fine. You want to give out, we can't sell food inside the expo
Mhm.
itself. And that's why we have the food trucks outside. But if you want to give away food, you can give away food." So,
Really? Okay.
yeah. So he's like, "I want to give away food." We've got a really great guy from down in the Driftless that has lodging is going to be giving away cookies again this year. So if you got the cookies last year, plan on getting the cookies this year. Joe's gonna be back
Hey,
with
hey.
free cookies in mass quantity. He's doing so much baking. Everybody gets a cookie. I don't
That's
know how many
unreal.
thousands and thousands of cookies he shows up with, but it's crazy.
I think I
Uh,
might have missed that last year. I'm gonna have to swing over.
you're gonna have to check that out. So yeah, if you don't find the free cookies, you're missing out. But in the free popcorn thing, Joe's not baking the cookies at the show. So it's not as much of a problem. But, with a popcorn maker, you're making that popcorn live. And, when my friend John plugged in the popcorn maker and flipped the switch, uh, it pulled too much electricity and it blew the breakers for the entire show.
Oh,
So
no.
everything went black. And then
Oh my
we had to
gosh.
scramble for a little bit. So that was, it's funny in retrospect,
Yes.
but more challenging when it was occurring.
Dude, that is a great story.
So at this point in time, no popcorn makers are allowed. You
Nope.
can't, like you can't do anything that's crazy like that.
Oh, that is too funny. Hey, you learned though, so at least now you know, right? Oh, that's unbelievable. Yeah, I'll have to stop in and grab a little cookie. That sounds pretty I feel like I didn't do that last year. I must have walked right by them, which is crazy. I'm always looking for a free cookie.
Yeah, they're there. So that's Kickapoo Valley Guest Cabins.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
Joe Rogan is the guy with them. So that's, again, down in the Driftless, not too far from the Viroqua area. Uh,
Mhm.
so that's, like if you're looking in that, in that world.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So you've touched base on this, but community is so important in the fly fishing world and everything when you're involved in something. So in your opinion, what does community mean to you in the context of like fly fishing and what this expo can do?
Well, like what does it mean to me?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I think, and what can it do? Um, I think it really offers the opportunity. Um, one of the ways that we look at it is with Trout Unlimited, and it offers the opportunity to do small but actionable opportunities to get involved in conservation. And one of the things that we do, and a lot of people don't necessarily even notice it when it occurs. If we schedule a talk on something that's like driftless pollution, I'm not going to get a lot of people to show up to that, and that's just the honest truth. People are really excited if I say, learn all about how to fish driftless trout streams. We're going to get a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, but if I say, learn about this pollution thing, we're not going to get new people showing up for that. We're going to get people who already are probably involved in fighting pollution and or restoring streams or that type of thing. And what the expo does is it gives us an opportunity to get small amounts of that conservation messaging in front of thousands of people, and in a way that they're not going to get to see that any other way. We want to have people, there's a lot of different nonprofits that engage with the expo. So, whether that's, like if you're a big Western Wisconsin angler and you like the Kinney, the Land Trust is going to be there. So and that's a good opportunity to get involved and get engaged with, a river that you care about. And there's all sorts of different, there's different Trout Unlimited chapters. The Kiap to You Wish, that's the Western Wisconsin Trout Unlimited chapter is going to be there, and you can engage with that. And that's all good. But all of these different things try to have small amounts of conservation. Not everyone's going to be a member of all these different things. So this is the chance to be in front of them to hopefully, if there's a threat to our resources, that they can pick up a small component of that and then they can know when to be engaged and know when to be able to take a stand for something that we really strongly care about. So that's, that's one of the biggest impacts that it can have as a whole. And we try to be really pretty soft and gentle on a lot of that messaging. So a lot of times you don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But um, we get a lot of people that aren't members of conservation organizations that are there. And not everybody needs to be a member of everything at all.
Right. Yeah.
And that's I don't expect people to be. And like it's not fair. There's only so fair, so thin you can spread yourself. Uh
Yes.
and in this case, like just being able to know, like, oh, this is something that I could take action on, or I saw that and I know that's going on, whether it be something about the St. Croix River or up in the Boundary Waters, or, like issues, on the North Shore or issues in the Driftless, or, there was, like spills going on with,
Yeah.
in Wisconsin driftless. There's always, things that the more people that we can get to get involved, the better that's going to turn out for conservation. And, we've been very effective with Minnesota Trout Unlimited, restoring and protecting and enhancing streams. Since 2008, we've done well over 100 miles of trout stream restoration in Minnesota, and there's a lot more to do. We're effective with it, but we need to have the support and engagement of people.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. That's a awesome answer. Very, very thoughtful. Thank you. Awesome. All right, one last question for you. I'll take you away from the expo for a little bit. So you're obviously someone who enjoys being out on the water yourself. You do some guiding. It sounds like you've kind of had that in your life the whole time. What is your favorite river snack when you were out fishing?
Wow, my favorite river snack.
Yes. You can think about it for a while if you need to.
That's you know, what I'm gonna say. I'm a big wild edible person.
Yeah?
And so I'm forever walking along the trout streams, and I really enjoy teaching foraging
Okay.
when I'm guiding, whether that's mushrooms at points in time in the summer, or whether that's picking fiddlehead ferns, the young. Uncurling ferns of the ostrich fern in the spring, which you can cook up, and they're just amazing. But those aren't streamside snacks. But the one that I really love when we're guiding along the Boyce Pool in Wisconsin is that we have wild wintergreen. And you can pick the leaves of that wild wintergreen, and it grows in many places along the sandy trails. It likes sandy soil, and
Okay.
you can pick that. Just pick a leaf off, and you can chew it just like gum, and it's going to be just that beautiful, wonderful wintergreen flavor. And it's a little spike of flavor, and it perks you up. And I like to walk along the trail, and for folks that have never tried it, I like to pick a couple leaves so that they can try it. And it's just a fun thing to do. And it's one of my favorite ways to engage with the natural resources and sort of the sustainability aspect of what we see along the river.
Unbelievable. That is very cool. I did not know that, and I had no idea that was a thing. I bet that'd be good in, tea, but you can make some good tea over
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the first
if
thing
you're a
that went
tea
to my
fan,
mind. Yeah.
there's all sorts of really awesome wild edibles out there. As a guide, that's one of the things that I really enjoy. Like I like to look at the forests that we have
Mhm.
along the stream. As people have lived here for thousands of years, and these forests were supporting people for thousands of years. And there's the classic things we're maple syruping right now. Like that's a wild edible, but there's a lot of these small things that are super fun, really cool that you can do. And like I've got lots of them, and they're just a
Yeah.
blast.
That's awesome. I would love to learn more about that. That's something I don't know too much about besides just, like, asparagus and stuff like that and morel mushrooms, but I barely have ever done that, and, yeah, that's very cool. I would love to learn more
Yeah,
about that.
there's chanterelles up north. There's all these different mushrooms and there's stuff, and like there's a lot of places that I guide and fish that don't necessarily offer sustainably harvestable fish,
Mhm.
and I'm a big catch and release advocate.
Yeah.
There are some times where we encounter fish that are sustainably harvestable, and it's super fun to pair that with something that's a wild edible, whether, like lake trout from Lake Superior, really sustainably harvestable. You're not, like not negatively impacting the population at all. And, like whether it's pairing that, or there are places in the driftless where we're actually trying to encourage people to occasionally harvest some trout so
Mhm.
that we can bring down the overall number of trout, but hopefully increase the size structure of trout in some streams in the driftless.
Yes.
And while a lot of people, we're at a different point as in angling public and society at this point. When my father started very seriously as a fly angler in the 1960s, he was like, "Yeah, we take fish home and we eat them." That's
Right.
what you're doing as a
This is a way
fly.
of life. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, at this point in time, the vast, vast majority of people, do catch and release, and it's actually challenging at some points, with some of these streams that could use, some harvest at
Mhm.
a time to get people to keep fish. Like, there's a lot of streams, like I would say the majority of streams don't necessarily, support a lot of harvest, but the ones that do, super fun to engage with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've definitely talked to some DNR officers in my area and they've kind of echoed that. Like, yeah, there's some streams in this area where they would encourage people to take some fish. And yeah, that's exactly what they're saying too.
Yeah, it's a balance, and
Yeah. Yeah.
there's I try to talk about that some within the Fly Fishing Minnesota book that I wrote,
Hmm.
as well. And you can get, especially in the driftless, you can get a pretty good sense of it. If it's a big fish stream and you feel that you have shots at like 16, 18, 20-inch fish, there's probably not a lot of fish, and those fish are probably not meaningfully sustainably harvestable.
Yes.
Whereas if you are getting a lot of like 7 to 10-inch brown trout in a stream, those are the streams where generally we're like, wow, there's just so much natural reproduction that if we removed a few fish, you might be able to have a little bit larger size structure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. Very good. Awesome. Well, Carl, this was a great conversation. Is there anything else you want to talk about while we are hanging out?
Oh, it's a good question. We've covered a lot of stuff. I'm certainly very expo focused right now, and I'm stoked for folks to show up to the expo.
Yeah, me too.
Like if you you know there's all the information and details online. Buy your ticket ahead of time, and it's going to be fast and easy for you to get in on that end of things. You can go grab that, get that 3-day pass if you're looking to really get a full experience of what's going on with the show. We really have a variety of different programming going on all 3 days. For example, if you want to see veteran guide and uh, teller of Boyce Brule legends, Damien Wilmot. He's going to be
Hmm.
speaking on Sunday. So if you're not there on Sunday, you're going to be missing Damien. So there's all of these different things. Just show up, check out the schedule, see what's going on, plan out your event, and I'm just excited to see a ton of people in less than a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming right up. We're knocking on the door here. March is
Yeah,
here.
March 13th is gonna be here before we know it, so, coming up
It's
soon,
coming.
and, I'm just excited to be there and, see a lot of friends, and have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, I do want to thank you for jumping on, Carl. I know it's never easy to put everyone's schedule, as you know, as someone who's putting together an expo. So I appreciate you taking the time to come on and chat and tell us everything we need to know about the Great Waters Fly Fishing Expo.
Absolutely, I hope to be back in the future sometime with you.
Yes. Awesome.